Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a very good day. So this is my top 12 books of 2012. In 2012, I think I found some of my favorite reads of all time. I was so blown away by classics. Thoughtful and insightful I was expecting, but entertaining, who knew? But yes, these books that I chose are based on how enjoyable the read was and of course how thought-provoking, engrossing, riveting, all those great adjectives my reading experience was. So let's get started with books. So for my number 12 choice, I chose Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. This is the first book in the Warm Bodies series. I chose Warm Bodies because I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed our main characters R and Julie. I also loved the twist on zombies on this one. You know, we're familiar with the typical zombie that they're savage, empty shells, but the zombies in Isaac Marion's Warm Bodies, there's a lot of personality, lots of character, and in R's case, despite his, you know, biological abilities, he has a lot of heart, which I really liked. Great pacing, really fun, funny, and I really enjoyed the thought-provoking aspects of this book as well. Next guys, my 11th pick, I chose Jasper Ford's Shades of Grey, not 50 Shades of Grey or Between Shades of Grey. I really enjoyed this book, guys. This is the first book in the Shades of Grey series. This is an adult fiction dystopia read, and I thought the dystopia, the world in Shades of Grey was so unique, so different. In this world, depending where you are in the social ladder, if you are lower on the ladder, you see less color, and if you're higher on the ladder, you see more color. And being a graphic designer, not that you have to be a graphic designer to enjoy this book, being a lover of colors and color palettes, I really geeked out while reading this book. Great exposition. There's a lot of it for sure. Lots of world building and setting up of this world and story, but I wholeheartedly enjoyed it a whole lot. The characters as well were also really fun to read about. We have two main characters and they make a great pair, great dynamics between the both of them. They kind of have a love-hate relationship, and the ending just makes me want to read the next book right away, so I cannot wait to check out the sequel to this book. Alright, number 10 on my list, I chose UnWholly by Neal Shusterman. This is the second book in the Unwinding series. I love this book a whole lot. This is a young adult dystopia fiction book. In this world, I believe kids between the ages of 13 and 17 or 18, their parents or guardians get to choose whether they get to be unwound or not. And what that means is that they're sent to harvest camps and all of their body parts gets donated to those who may need them. And that may sound pretty good, but those who are being chosen to be unwound don't think it's so great. And what I loved about UnWholly is that there are so many different characters and perspectives being represented in the book and on this topic of unwinding. You have those who are for unwinding, those who are against it, and there are kids who justify unwinding and it's part of their religious beliefs. So it's quite an interesting read. And what I thought was really cool in UnWholly was Neal Shusterman touches upon existentialism. You know, what determines who we really are. Number 9 on the list, guys, I chose Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is the first book in the Study series. We have our main character, Yelena. On the day of her execution, she was given a second chance at becoming a food taster for the commander. And so I thought Yelena's journey throughout the story was really cool. I loved her character development, and the plot has a lot of mystery and drama surrounding her character. There's a lot of people against her, wanting her dead. I also really enjoyed the time span of the book. It takes place over several months, so there's some really realistic character development and relationships being formed, which I really liked. Alright guys, so number 8 on my list, I have The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Love this book, as you guys know. The Fault in Our Stars is a very heavy emotional read, but I think what John Green does really well with The Fault in Our Stars, and of course with his other novels, is this great balance between really heavy elements with more lighthearted moments. Also cannot forget about the characters. Love Hazel and Augustus. I was really engrossed in their story, the difficulties and challenges that they were faced with. I also really love the smaller moments that these two characters share with each other. And The Fault in Our Stars kind of incorporates aspects of John Green's other novels, such as An Abundance of Catherines, as well as Paper Towns. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I really like that. Alright, number 7 on my list, guys, I have The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Thoroughly enjoyed the story a whole lot. Very funny, a lot of fun. Loved the movie as well. I think the tone between the two mediums are quite different. The book is more dramatic, more intense, and the movie is more lighthearted, more silly. I thought Rob Reiner, who's the director of The Princess Bride, was an excellent choice. Of course, he directed Spinal Tap the movie as well, and Spinal Tap and The Princess Bride are quite similar in how they're both ridiculous funny, but still very serious, which makes it even more hilarious, and I thought that was just great. But anyways, we're talking about the book. Really enjoyed the characters. How can can you not love a villain named Prince Humperdinck as well as a heroine named Princess Buttercup? There's a love story incorporated, great action sequences, and for good measure, revenge thrown in there as well, which I really loved. So my number 6 pick, I chose A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. This is the 3rd book in A Song of Ice and Fire series. First half of the book was great. It was steady pace, and by the middle of the book, things get crazy, things get insane, lots of action, surprise one after the other. I was thinking, George, you could stop now, I'm good. You could stop by the second twist. But no, he just keeps going. And it's like, okay, sure, why don't we go down that route? And of course, I cannot stop mentioning this aspect of the book, the characters. I love them so much. These characters are the most realistic characters that I've read. They're not completely black or white, good or evil. There's a lot of gray in between. You don't know when alliances will change. You don't know what the characters are gonna do next, which adds to that unpredictability factor. Just overall, really great story. It's really ramping up. Cannot wait to check out the other books in the series. I don't know what's gonna happen. And, you know, despite the length of the book, you get through it quite quickly. Alright guys, making number 5 on the list, I chose Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Thoroughly enjoyed this read. On an entertainment scale between 1 and 10, it's like a 50. It's that entertaining, super geeky, super nerdy. Lots of video game, pop culture, and 80s references. I loved it a lot. And even if you are not into those things, Ready Player One delves into being on the internet, how online relationships go, your personality on the internet. So that's another element you can relate to, which I really enjoyed. Overall, just really great characters, super, super entertaining. Really played like a movie in my mind. If you watch Cabin in the Woods, Cabin in the Woods, Cabin in the Woods, Cabin in the Woods, it's just as geeky and as fun and funny as that. Different genre though, but still very, very entertaining. Alright guys, my next book on my list, I chose Monsters of Men by Patrick Ness. This is the last book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. I was really enthralled by the read. You know, I don't really have a great track record with the last books in series, but I was pleasantly surprised by Monsters of Men. Lots of action, great character development. There's some new characters introduced into this last book, and I was unsure how they would be incorporated, how they would add to the story, but they totally do. Patrick Ness is able to execute themes of war and humanity, trust, all of those really heavy themes really well. Definitely one of my favorite series of all time. I highly suggest checking it out. The writing style is very unique as well. Alright guys, number 3 on the list. I thought it was fitting to choose the 3 books. We have The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, as well as The Return of the King, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Love, love, love this read, guys. Love the story, love the characters. Everything I was expecting and more. Love Frodo, Sam, Pippin, Merry, the underdog characters. They were so great to read about, to see their character development and growth till the very end. Overall, just a really great fantasy, adventure, quest read. So we're getting down to the wire, guys. It was hard to choose between which is number 1, which is number 2. I think they're both kind of on the same plane. But anyways, my second choice of 2012, I chose A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Thoroughly enjoyed this read, guys. I totally related to her main character, Francie Nolan. You know, growing up in a neighborhood which is more rougher and tougher, and growing up with not having a lot of things, every day working hard to get what you want. I really related to Francie in that way. And as you can see here, there's a lot of post-it notes marking my favorite quotes and passages of the story. First time ever, so you could really tell how much this book made an impact on me and how much I could really relate to the story. So highly recommended, guys. Definitely check this out. Alright guys, so my number 1 choice of 2012, you guys probably already know. It is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love this book a whole lot. Did I tell you how much I love this book? I love this book. I was super surprised about how much I enjoyed this book, how entertained I was. The characters are fantastic, totally relatable. Elizabeth Bennet was a really great female character. I identified with her a lot. There are characters in the story where you know people in real life that are similar, like Mrs. Bennet, the crazy mom. I also really enjoyed Mr. Darcy and his character development along with Elizabeth Bennet. Just their whole relationship was really great, really sweet. I was also entertained by the family drama, the jealousy, you know, all of these underhanded characters. And of course we get to see the difficulties and challenges that these women faced during the 19th century. So that was a really interesting aspect of the book as well. Can you sacrifice love for security? Really great classic, really great read overall. So those are my top 12 books of 2012. Love those reads a whole lot. There were so many other books that I enjoyed as well, such as The Count of Monte Cristo, Clockwork Prince, and The Great Gatsby. All very good reads. Anyways, guys, if you want to know more information, a more thorough review of each of the books, I will leave a link to those videos down below. Definitely check that out. That's everything, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Have a very good one. Bye.